Hello. I'm less sick, a lot less sick. Still a little sick, but less. Uh, so chapter 136. It's payback time. That's always good. Me, Lori, Lenny, Luann. No, whoop. Try again. Me, Lori, Lenny, Luna, Luann, Lynn, Lincoln, and Linka, Lucy, Laney, Lana, and Lola, Lisa, and Lily were in the simulator. Okay, I feel like I'm going to throw up. That's weird. That came out of nowhere. No, I'll be fine. Marie, Vince, Eileen, Woody, Carol, Gabriella, Shannon, Penny, Starfire, Tara, Raven, Argent, Cole, Bumblebee, Volcana, Naruto, and the girls were in the control room. The simulator activated and we found ourselves in front of the Loud House? Huh? It feels like we didn't go anywhere, I say. I don't ask. Yeah, I know. We're back in my dimension, says Linka. What? Oh, yeah. So just gender bent to Loud House, I guess. That's great. It sure looks exactly the same as home. Does it? I mean, does it? Your home is in an estate now. Are you is that are we implying that Linka's dimension has its own version of JD who also adopted the entire Loud House? Just saying. I don't think exactly the same is the word you're looking for. It sure looks like that way, says Linka. Linka? Asks question mark. We all see Clyde's female counterpart, Claudia. Claudia! Exclaims Linka. They both hugged and were reunited, and I'm sure Claudia is gonna get rescued, yeah? I thought you were dead, says Claudia. That's a good fucking point. It's really fucked up the way Lincoln just kind of abandoned everybody. I'm sure, judging by the title of the chapter, it's payback time. We're going to have like payback against the brothers which supposedly treated her so bad. But even still, you don't just disappear out of the blue, you know? For all they know, their friggin' daughter's dead. Daughter slash sister slash best friend is dead. But whatever. Whatever. Okay. Shut up. I thought you were dead, says Claudia. No, I'm not Claudia, and I'm all right, says Nika. I heard what happened to you, says Claudia. I know. I was thrown into a portal that led to another dimension, says Nika. Well, that doesn't imply you were dead. If anything, it's a little fucked up that Claudia assumed you were dead. I see my friend get thrown into a dimension, I'll be like, well, I'll miss him, but maybe one day I'll get to see him again. I don't like assume. Oh, must have been what is it? The buzzsaw dimension from Rick and Morty. Yeah, I'm pretty smart. Anyways, that portal led to our dimension, I say. Claudia saw us and she was shocked. Whoa, so you're all from the dimension Linka went to? Asks Claudia. Very intuitive. That's right, I'm JD Knutson, I say. I'm Linka's male dimensional twin. Dimensional merge? Dimensional twin, Lincoln. And these are my 11 sisters, says Lincoln. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Lori, says Lori. I'm Lenny, says Lenny. I'm Luna, says Luna. I'm Luann, says Luann. I'm the Junior, says Lynn. I'm Lucy, says Lucy. I'm Laney, says Laney. I'm Lana, says Lana. I'm Lola, says Lola. Greetings, I'm Lisa, says Lisa. And I'm Lily, says Lily. We got all that? Okay, good. It's nice to meet you all. To meet all of you. But Lily, aren't you supposed to be a baby? Asks Claudia. I get that a lot. You get that a lot? By who? I mean, granted, if people knew you were a baby beforehand, then sure. But either a lot of people knew you were a baby before you turned into a 10-year-old magic baby type baby, or people just like naturally assume you're supposed to be a baby. Maybe this. I mean, granted, I've never met a 10-year-old who's actually biologically 10 months old but got turned into this 10-year-old version of themselves by a magic goddess. So for all I know, maybe it's plain, maybe it's obvious. I see one and I'm like, oh yeah, that's clearly supposed to be a baby, but they are aged up by magic properties. So great, yeah. If that ever happens in my life where it's obvious to me that Lisa, somebody in Lisa's situation is supposed to be a baby, then I'll come back. I will re-record this entire. That's such a safe bet. Yeah, I'll re-record this entire audiobook. If I ever see somebody who looks not like a baby, and I assume they're supposed to be okay, I'm getting off track. I wanted this one to be quicker. I always want them to be quicker, and then something just irks me, and I have to let them know. Let them all. Oh no, I'm gonna. I'm cool. I get the look. Biologically, I'm 15 months old, but due to me undergoing a powerful transformation, I now look like I'm 10 years old, says Lily. That's cool. What kind of transformation? Asks Claudia. Some of us got powers because of gods and goddesses from different myths from around the world, I say. That is so cool, says Claudia. You know what'd be interesting? Is if stuff like that happened to Linka's brothers, and then we can have like a little superhero team battle, you know? Civil War, right? Captain America's team versus Iron Man's team. Sorry, I'm just scratching the crap out of my face. Okay. What was I doing? That is so cool, says Claudia. Claudia, we came back home to get payback. Yep, on my so-called brothers, except for Lars. Except for Lars, Leaf? Leaf? I'll assume Leaf. Luke, Larry, Loney, and Leon. Naturally. Some of those I'm hold on. Loney has gotta be Lori? Leon is probably Luann. Larry might be Lucy. Luke might be. I don't know. Luna? Maybe. Leaf? I don't even know. Who's the Laney counterpart? Maybe it's one of these guys. But anyways. Oh, it might be Larry. Larry might be Laney. So maybe not Lucy. Maybe Luke is Lucy. Whatever. What was I gonna say? Nothing. It's just stupid. It's stupid, and it's a stupid story. And of course, the ones that James Dean likes are the ones that are going to be saved and rescued and brought back to the real world, I guess. Count me in, says Claudia. What the hell is Claudia gonna do? Just a just a person. And me too. Then again. And me too, says question mark. We all see Ronnie Ann's male counterpart. Sorry. Oh God, that sounded weird, huh? Counterpart Ronaldo Santiago. Ronaldo, says Linka. They both hugged and kissed. Aw, says everyone. Oh, I'm so happy for you both, says Lincoln. Me too, Lincoln, says Linka. So you are all from a parallel dimensions? Asks Ronaldo. That's right, I say. Oh wow, says Ronaldo. I can tell that your bond is so strong that not even the gap between dimensions can break it. We came to help out Linka. It's payback time. What the hell was that first part supposed to mean? Whatever. I guess the relationship lasted. If anything, Ronaldo should be like, "Where have you been for the last? How long has it been? I don't know. Where it's just weird that he doesn't show concern for his missing girlfriend who's suddenly back. Okay, there is an eyelash in my eye in a major way, and it is so annoying. There. Okay, there. It's payback time. I say, count me in, says Ronaldo. Let's get them, I say, cracking. Oh, hold on. Can I? No, I crack my knuckles too much, so I never have any in the barrel ready to go. Let's, says everyone. We go into the loud house, and we went in and saw that only Lynn Sr. and Rita's counterparts were at the table with Larry and Leon. Leon! Hello, Mr. Lynn and Miss Rita. We have some stuff to tell you, I say. Mom, Dad, says Linka. Linka ran to them. Linka, you're all right, exclaimed both parents. She hugged them and cried hard, and Larry and Leon hugged her too. We all thought you were dead, says Larry. Winka, says Leon. Oh, Winka? Leon. Is Leon supposed to be Lily? Winka. I have to assume, unless somehow, some way, James Dean misspelled Linka with a W. Linka, we're so glad you're safe, says Rita. Jeez. Thank my brother Lincoln, my best friends, and my sisters here for looking out for me, says Linka. Because that's not weird. They saw us, and they were shocked. Linka was thrown into our dimension from this one, and she became part of our family very quickly. I say, maybe a little too quickly. Yeah, she is an amazing sister, by the way. We are her brother's female counterparts. There should be an apostrophe in brothers. I'm Lori, and these are my sisters, and and brother Lenny. Lenny nods. Luna. Luna gives the rock on hand sign. Luann. Luann nods. Lynn. Lynn makes the fist bump. Lucy. So Lucy nods. Laney. Laney nods. Lana. Lana nods. And Lola. Lola curtsies. I'm having a stroke. Lisa. Lisa smiles. Lily. Lily nods. And Lincoln. Lincoln nods. Whew, and my name is JD Nuts, and I say, thank you all so much for taking care of Linka, says Rita. You're welcome, I say. It was our pleasure, says Lori. We also came here to teach her brothers minus Larry, Lars, Luke, Loney, Leon, and Leaf a lesson they'll never forget, says Luna. And what do we think the parents will say to that? Well, usually I'm against violence, but we see that what but we see what's about to happen. What? We what? Well, usually I'm against violence, but we see what's about to happen. Boys, come down here, says Lynn Sr. Loki. Okay. Loki, Loney, Luke, Elaine, Lynn, Lars, Leaf, Lex, and Levi came down. What's up, Dad? Asks Loki. They gasped and they saw us. So like usually I'm against violence, but I see what's going to. So you recognize that these people have come into your house with the intent to punish your children, potentially with physical violence, and you're like, usually I'm against it, but I see what's going to happen, so I'll allow it. Not even it's not even like he could have said, but clearly they deserve it. No, he's just like, I see what's going to happen. Go for it. It's like a pushover. What? Like, what if somebody broke into your house? Well, usually I'm against thievery, but I see what's going to happen. Just lets them steal his money and stuff. Whatever. What's up, Dad? They gasp. You must be Loki. Well, I'm gonna turn you into a human pretzel for throwing fighting over such petty things, says Lori, cracking knuckles. I still can't. Cracking her knuckles. You must be Lexi. That brother fight protocol ruined this family, says Lola. Okay. Aren't these like people just as bad as you? I mean, you guys had a protocol, yeah? A sister fight protocol. And you guys were fucking up the family until, well, in the chapter, I'm sure JD had something to do with it. But in the actual episode, maybe Linka, or well, Lincoln, I mean, uh, fixed it, abolished it, who knows. Whatever. What am I even arguing right now? Obviously, whatever they did does not warrant what's about to happen to them, but, well, there's no point. How long has that been on screen? There's no point in bringing attention to it anymore. Levi, so at last we meet. It's time to show you the error of your ways with sheer brute force, says Lisa. Very, very subtle. Levi, so oops, and you must be Lane. I'm going to punch your lights out. Rimshot. Get what? I'm going to punch your lights out. Rimshot. Ha ha ha. Get it? But seriously, I'm going to pulverize you into a pulpy pancake for everything you did to Linka. Okay. Hey, well, go ahead and explain the joke. Punch your lights out. I don't. Ha 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 ha. Good one, Luann. But seriously, save seconds for all of us, I say. Lynn female. Oh, I. Is it because Lynn is the man, is also the brother's name? I guess it could be a girl and a boy's name. Anyways, we may share the same name, but your time is up, says Lynn. The female Lynn, cracking her knuckles, and also that was a shitty little one liner. So you are Lars. The darkness has not been kind to you, hasn't it? What? The darkness has not been kind to you, hasn't it? Shut up. Whatever, says Lucy. No, it has not, says Lars. So you are Loney. Those clothes are totes adorbs on you, says Lenny. Thank you, says Loney. Luke, you have a rockin' style, says Luna. Rock on, says Luke. So you're Leaf. Watch this. Here's mud in your eyes. That's nice. Leaf is Lana's counterpart? Whatever. Lana throws mud at Lex. What? It, uh, but so you're Leaf. Watch this. Here's mud in your eyes. Lana throws mud at Lex. I thought she was throwing it at Leaf. Who cares? And hits him in the face. That makes you even more uglier, says Lana. The loud boys gasped. Lex became enraged and Lola punched him in the face and he crashed into a garbage can. How's that for girl power? Asks Lola. Let's take this. This is my favorite feminist literature. Let's take this outside, I say. Good thinking, says Loki. We all go outside. All right, girls, choose your counterpart, I say. Lori faced Loki. Let's dance, Loki, says Lori. I couldn't agree more, says Loki. Lori spread her blue wings and fired a wind blast at him, and it blew him into a pile of garbage, naturally. I'm really getting annoyed by that. I don't know why. There's a lot to be annoyed at, don't get me wrong, but I don't know why. There's something so enraging to me about having clear biases about a character and, like, punishing them in a cartoonish way. I don't know why. Dude, just kill him. If you hate him that much, kill him. God knows you do it with Sasuke. Just kill him. Enough of this stupid Looney Tunes baby crap. Oh, look, now you smell. Now you've got mud on your face. Wedgie, you shut up. All right, just use your superpowers and, like, break his spine and kill him. Be done with it. I mean, granted, it's a kid. No, wait, they killed Chandler, so never fucking mind. I don't know why it's pissing me off so much. Use water blast, but it's stinky fish water. Just okay. Into a pile of garbage. That's wind power for you. Also, I get the feeling that none of the guys have superpowers, so that's, you know, and that's another thing. In combination with the fact that it's not like, oh, give and take, tug of war. Maybe you push him into garbage, but then he, like, pushes you into other garbage. I don't know. Lights a fuse on a bomb, tosses it over to you, and you become a blackened skinned husk with just your eyes showing. That kind of cartoonish thing. You know, Trading blows. That's always been a problem, but it would at least alleviate this stupid thing a little bit more, I'd think. That's wind power for you, says Luann faced Lane. Get ready, Lane, says Luann. Luann spread her wings and fired a blinding white light at Lane, and he screamed, My eyes, I can't see anything, I'm blind. She temporarily blinded me. Please put in the comments if you get that reference. Or don't. I can't see anything, I'm blind, says Lane. You deserved it for everything you did it to Linka, says Luann. Well, I don't know. I don't think blinding bullies is really a great punishment for bullies, but I've never been bullied. So, maybe once. Maybe I've been a bully once even. So yeah, I definitely don't want bullies to be blinded. My eyes, I can't see anything, I'm blind. You deserve it for everything you did to Linkus, says Luann. Lynn, female, was facing her male self. Let's fight, says female Lynn. Female Lynn spread her wings into a lava bomb at her male self and it hit the ground and exploded. It burned his leg bad. A lava bomb. You threw a lava bomb. And that's another thing. That's also why it pisses me off. They do these things, these incredible, fantastic things with their superpowers, and it's like there's no realistic way that you can do something like that and only have it be a minor, like minor injury. You threw a lava bomb at him. All right, he doesn't just get, oh, ow, my leg's burnt. No, his leg is melted. All right, he should be getting the Anakin treatment right now. It's a lava bomb, you know? It's smelly lava, so now he smells bad too. I don't think he cares. The only thing he can smell is his hair burning. Ugh, I'm just not having a good day. This is not a fun thing. This is the worst. Who in the right mind would want to read all of this? Me. That's who. Let's keep going. Spreader wings burned it bad. That must have hurt, I say, but not permanent. It's probably permanent. You give all beauty pageant girls a bad name, Lexi. Well, I'm sure he's fine with that since he's probably not a beauty pageant girl. Uh, literally is not a. Says Lola. Lola spread her fire wings and threw a fireball, and it hit his car, and it exploded, and he landed in a pile of sludge built by Lana and Leaf. Nice work, Leaf, says Lana. Wait, Lex has a car? Who cares? Thanks, Lana, says Leaf, high-fiving. Your treatment towards Alinka is completely unacceptable, says Lisa. Lisa spread her metal wings and built a freezer array with her technokinetic powers and froze him in ice. This is what you guys get for being mean brothers, I say. I agree, says Lucy. We should have never sent Lika into that dimension. We let our rage get the better of us, says Lars. So wait, that's what happened? In an act of bullying and anger towards their sister, they sent her through a dimensional wormhole? How the fuck did they make it? Or was it just happen chance and they were like, ha ha ha, we're such bad people, we're going to throw you through a wormhole, you know? I don't care how big of bullies they are. If a wormhole appears and you're not the source of it, which frankly, if you are the source of it, like I said, that's kind of ridiculous that you'd go that far just to. I don't even know how you'd manage to do it. I guess if you got the smart one, the Lisa counterpart. But like I was saying, uh-oh. Like I was saying, I don't think anybody, no matter how big a bully they are, I don't think their first instinct when they see a wormhole is, this would be such a good prank. You know, just don't fucking throw your sister through a wormhole. It's all ridiculous. It's always ridiculous. And I keep wasting time arguing about it, even though everybody knows this already. But it's the only thing I can do. You know, you put a guy in a padded cell, of course he's gonna do something in there. He's not just gonna sit around in the padded cell. Otherwise he'll go crazy. You know, yeah, that's why people write things on the inside of padded cells. You know, it sounds crazy anyways, but at least it gives them something to do. So I'm going crazy right now, and you're watching me write my crazy words on the padded cell. I'm lost. I'm lost, and I'm getting way off track. Whew. I don't even know if any of that made sense. Okay? They're gonna throw me in a padded cell. I'll just be yeah, I'd write thanks, JD. Thank you, JD, over and over again. All thanks and no JD makes Guggle Bum. It's weird calling myself that. Okay, back on track. Um, Freeze Ray, technically frozen in ice. I agree. We never should have sent Lincoln better. We let our age get the better of us as Lars. Okay, back. We're back. Okay. Now I promise I won't go on any more tangents for at least the rest of this chapter. Maybe small things, sure, but not long bullshit. Okay. We let our rage get the better of us, says Lars. It's not your fault, Lars. It's that stupid protocol, says Laney. So then why are you punishing him? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I just said I wouldn't. But why are you punishing it if you can? How is it not every other brother's fault that the stupid protocol? Whatever. I agree with you, Laney, says Lars. Well, of course you fucking would. If it means avoiding their wrath. You saw what they did to your brothers. One of them got hit with a lava bomb, god damn it. Of course. Okay, Okay, I agree with you, Laney, says Lars. I called the fight you all had DEFCON Zero or Jonestown Massacre, I say. What's Jonestown Massacre? Asks Luke. Is this really important? It was a nasty event from back in the 70s, bro. You could be a little bit more specific. Yeah, it happened in Jonestown. Really? French Guinea. 900 people died from suicide by cyanide poisoning. I say. That is totes terrible. Very classy, says Lenny. Yeah, says Loney. By the way, Laney, do you have powers? Asks Larry. I sure do. I have plan powers. Watch, says Laney. Larry touched the ground. Laney, I'm sorry, touched the ground and apple tree. What? Laney touched the ground and apple tree. Wow, apple tree. That is so cool, says Larry. That is wicked, says Lars. I have dark powers. Watch, says Lucy. Oh, here we go. Lucy fired a bolt of black lightning at Lex. Let fear consume you, says Lucy. That's so cool. Lex saw everything completely covered in mud and garbage, filth and crud, and he screamed like a little girl and ran inside. Wicked! What did you do to Lex? Asks Lars. I cursed him so that when he steps outside, everything he sees will be only garbage and filth. Oh, good! Yeah, that ruined his life. Anyways, that is wicked, says Lars. It is, It's wicked, all right. It's very definitely wicked. Willie, says Leon. Willie? Willie? Wait, says Leon. Says Leon. Winka. Okay, yeah. Leon is the Lily counterpart. Just have to make sure. Willie, says Leon. Yes, Leon, my name is Lily. I became like this because of my power, says Lily. Power? Asks Leon. Why are we doing this? It's a baby, who cares? Yes, I have glowing water powers, says Lily. Lily forms a fountain of glowing blue water in the middle of the driveway. Ooh, says Leon. I know, says Lily. I didn't know that some of the loud siblings now have powers, Linka, says Claudia. We have lots of unique abilities. Me and Lincoln have lightning powers, says Linka. Yep, watch, says Lincoln. Lincoln and Linka spread their wings and fired a bolt of lightning at Lane, and he got electrocuted. Lane was a smoking mess. Ouch, says Lane, in pain, as if that wasn't obvious. Wow, that was awesome, says Claudia. That was cool, huh? Asks Lincoln. Does my male self have powers? Asks Claudia. He sure does. He has time powers, says Lincoln. We haven't even seen him use them. The like one of three unique powers in all of the Loud House Revamped, and we haven't even gotten to see him use them. That is so cool, says Claudia. It is, says Linka. Does my female self have powers? Asks Ronaldo. She sure does. She has firework powers, I say. That is so cool, says Ronaldo. I know, says Lincoln. I know. Lana, you sure know how to live. What does that mean? Says Leaf. I know. I also have ice powers. Watch, says Lana. I'm scratching my nose. I'm scratching my nose. Lana spread her ice wings and fired ice lightning at Loki and encapsulated him in a block of ice. That is cold and awesome, says Leaf. I know, says Lana. I know. Luna, do you have powers too? Asks Luke. I sure do, dude. Watch, says Luna. Luna fired a ball of singing water and it landed by Levi and Lex and entranced and entranced by the enchanted singing, and Lola and Lisa kicked them into the sludge pile. Fucking sure. Nice shot, Luna. Want to help me with this one? Says Lincoln. He doesn't ask. You got a bow, says Luna. Lincoln and Luna stood ready. It's ripping time. Oh, remember that? I remember that. I remember, says Lincoln and Luna. They held their R rings up, and a portal opened up, and out came the Ripping Friends. Woo! It's been forever, and I guess, why not? Why not? I don't know why this is warranted at all. None of this is warranted. I don't know, but I guess as far as beat ups go, I don't know why this is the time you decided to call in reinforcements. Luna and Lincoln, it's been a while, says Crag. Sure has. That it has, Crag, says Luna. So what's the problem, guys? Hey, what's the problem? Go ahead, tell him. Tell Chunk. Tell Chunk that you need help beating up a bunch of boys. Not men, not superpowered boys, boys who are at worst evil. At worst. They're just, well, frankly, from the worst, it seems they're just bullies, but apparently they're the ones who sent Linka into a wormhole for some ungodly reason. So yeah, maybe they're a little evil. Of course, that's just how James Dean wrote them, so hardly is their fault. Anyways, let's see how you could have argued, ignoring the superpowers that they have, that at least it's a bunch of kids fighting kids. But now I'm quite certain the Ripping Friends are full-grown adults, so let's go ahead and see what the hell they do. We're pulverizing Linka's brothers, and you'd think, right? You'd think, hey, we should call in the Ripping Friends when the world's about to end and we need their help. This is a social call. Yeah, we need help beating up these guys who, like, personally we don't like. They weren't going to end the world. They're just kind of bullies. Can you help us? And maybe that's, hey, I haven't watched The Ripping Friends. Maybe that's absolutely something they'd do, but still, it's ridiculous. I said I wouldn't go on a tangent, and I did. I'm a big fat liar, and I'm so, so sorry. We're pulverizing Nika's brothers to get payback on them for sending her to our dimension because of bad siblings. What does that mean? Am I crazy, or is the grammar, the writing significantly worse? The whole and apple tree because of bad siblings. It feels like what the okay. It feels like instead of like writing out the complete sentence, they're just like, screw it. I'm just going to shorten it. Because they are bad siblings. No, no, that's too long. Just say because of bad siblings. I see, says Rip. You called us at the right time, says. Come on, fellas, says Crag. Crag, Rip, Slab, Chunk, Lincoln, and Luna. It's ripping time. I should have, my bad. They pulverized Loki, Lane, Mel, Lynn, Lex, and Levi into pulpy pancakes and left you. I hate reading that. Stop saying that. And left them seeing pretty cartoon birds, stars, and flowers orbit around their heads. Mommy, can you please read me a bedtime story? Asks Loki, stupidly dazed. We sure beat them up good, says Slab, very proud of his kid kicking ability, I guess. You said it, Slab, says Luna. That was too funny, says Linka. Later, after the beating was done, Loki, Lane, Meryl, Lynn, Lex, and Levi were found in full body casts in their rooms. So awesome. We're not found. They were just in. Sorry. Guys, I'm sorry I can't stay, and it's gonna take me quite some time for me to trust Loki, Lane, Lynn, Lex, and Levi and forgive them, says Linka. Can't stay, as if. Shut up, man. JD is gonna snap his fingers and everything's gonna be right in the world. We understand, sweetie, says Rita. But just remember that no matter where you are, you will always be our little girl, says Linka. Says Lynn Senior. I know, Dad. I love you guys, says Linka. Linka hugged her family. I have something for you, Mr. Lynn, I say. I give him a special watch that Lisa made. This special watch can open a door from this dimension to ours. Oh, who could have seen it coming? So you can visit Linka anytime you want. I say. Thank you, JD, says Mr. Lynn. You're welcome, I say. Ready to go, Linka? Asks Lori. You bet, Lori, says Linka. We enter a vortex and head home. Linka had gotten justice for the treatment at the hands of her mean brothers. The end. Another fan fiction complete. I wanted to do a special chapter where Linka gets justice for what her mean brothers put her through. This time they include the girls in the show The Boys No Mercy. I wouldn't call this revenge. You wouldn't. I would call it retributive justice. Let me know what you all think. I hated it. I had to tell each of Lynn's counterparts apart because they share the same name and are Lynn's counterparts apart because they share the same name and are both sexes. I'm sorry? Yeah, I know that Lynn and both Lynn's are. No, what? Wait, what? I had to tell each of Lynn's counterparts apart because they share the same name and are both sexes. What does that mean? This doesn't make sense. I hate this. He's written this in such a weird way. See you next time. Whatever. This could have been a lot shorter. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sure this next one will be short. Oh, wow. This one's much longer. That's awesome. So, chapter 136, Evan, 137, Canada Mutant Island, Part 1. It starts in my room. I am packing for a very interesting reason. Oh, hello there. In case you're In case you're wondering why I'm packing up, I got accepted into a cool reality TV show up near the border between the United States and Canada. It's on an island near Muskoka, Ontario, Canada. The show is called, holds up a poster, Total Drama Revenge of the Island. Oh, good lord. That's great. No, that's awesome. Isn't it made by a Canadian animation team? Is that why it takes place where it does? Who cares? Total Drama Revenge of the Island, hosted by Chris McLean. And the grand prize is $1 million in Canadian money because you're destitute practically. Oh, barely scraping by, are we? Whatever. Which is 7,907. Why do I said it again? $797,480 dollars in US dollars. This is going to be awesome. I'm going to be gone for 8 weeks, and after I finish telling my friends I'm off, I finished packing all of my things. Okay, I'm all packed. Now to tell all my friends. Is this going to be JD solo adventure for like 10 parts? That'd be, well, not solo, but it may as well be Total Drama Revamped at this point, if that's what's going to happen. I slide down to the living room of the Louds, and I have my suitcase with me. Guys, I just came to tell you that I'm off, I say. It is going to be so cool seeing you on Total Drama Revenge of the Island, says Lori. It's my all-time favorite show, and I heard that the competition is going to be fierce this year. Yeah, JD's going, says Lana. I know. Now I know you're probably going to say, what are you all going to do while I'm gone? But I've already thought ahead of that. Marie is going to be with you all. Anyway, I'm not going to be that far away from you guys. I'm going to Wawanaka Island, near Muskoka, Ontario, Canada. I say, that is 338.1 miles northeast across the United States-Canada border and is in Lake Huron, says Lisa. That's right, but we'll still talk to each other on my laptop. Well, guys, I got to go. I'll see you all in a few weeks, I say. Bye, JD, says everyone. I get in a cab and it drives me to Lake Huron. Naruto was with me too, of course, good. I was worried. I was about to say, there's no way. JD's not that interesting of a character. He can't be on his own, save for the other, total drama characters, but he can't be on his own. Uh, he has to be there to just like, he doesn't take the lead, is what I'm saying. Well, he probably has multiple times, but whatever. It's part of the joke. It's just a joke. This whole thing's one big joke. Okay. I'm just saying though. I don't think JD can really hold his own. He doesn't really have the charisma for it. He just says, "Oh yeah, I like the thing you like," and then people like him. And that's all he does. Anyways, I'm wasting time. Naruto is with me too. I'm really excited to be on Total Drama Revenge of the Island with you, says Naruto. Because, naturally, me too, little bro. I got clearance via my passports, I say. Cool. Me too, says Naruto. We both hold up our passports. That's awesome. I'm jealous of you two. Total Drama is my all-time favorite show, and I always wanted to be on that show, says cab driver. I believe it. Believe it, says I say. We arrive at a dock by Lake Huron. Thanks, man. What do we owe you? I ask. It's free, man. Go win that cool mill, JD. It's free. Look, okay, maybe if you were good friends, you wouldn't accept the multi-billionaire's money or whatever he is at this point. But you don't know him. Don't get me wrong. I believe JD wrote it that you absolutely love. James Knutson wrote it that you absolutely love JD. It's just not natural. Oh, whatever. Keep it, man. Yeah, he's gonna let the meter keep running, and when JD gets back, he's gonna say, "Oh yeah, you owe me $1 million." I just don't think I'm gonna be. I don't think I'm going to look forward to reading these chapters. I'll be honest. I will, thanks, man. I say. The cab drove off. Ready, bro? I ask. You bet, says Naruto. We ran on the water to Camp Wawanaka, and we arrived in less than an hour. We arrived at Wawanaka Island. Okay, so you can walk on water casually. Why not just fly there? I know you can. So this is Wawanaka Island. It's beautiful, I say. It sure is, says Naruto. Guys, says question mark. We both saw that the host of the show, Chris McLean. Chris McLean, it's such an honor to meet you, man. I say. Same here, JD Knutson. And Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. I've heard so many good things about you guys, says Chris. We get that a lot wherever we go, says Naruto. You guys are 2 hours early, and the other competitors won't be here until then, says Chris. I had a feeling we were early. Being a ninja has its perks. Okay, whatever. I say. I look into the island's forest. Dang it. Wow, the forest is completely different from what I remember. Oh yeah, I didn't even. Cool. It's exactly what I remember. First season of Total Drama Island is great, by the way. And I in as one trick as I think his name is Cody. The big fat blonde guy. I'm glad he won. He was great. I loved him. You know, sure the farting got old and the whole being fat so he eats a lot got old pretty quick, but even still, he's just so damn charming. And you wanted him to win. Oh, sorry, I'm sure that's fine. I wouldn't have mind whoever won at the end. I think it was the goth chick and Cody. Cody doesn't sound right. Whatever. Being a ninja has its perks. I look at it's completely different, and I'm seeing a troll drum island. I say, yeah, looks like it's been mutated, says Naruto. That's because I've done some tweaks to the show, says Chris. I can't wait to see them. Chris, I loved the songs you all did in Total Drama World Tour. That was awesome. Everyone has great singing talent. Oh, yeah. There are some genuine, amazing songs in that season. I say, I'm glad you like that, JD. Let me give you both a tour of the island, says Chris. Okay, I say, we go into the mess hall. This is our mess hall where we can talk to all the campers and have some time before the challenges I'll be giving you all, says Chris. It's really nice, man, says Naruto. It wasn't, though. It never was. Thank you. This is my friend Chef Hatchet, says Chris. It's a pleasure to meet you, Chef Hatchet, sir. Pleasure is all mine, soldier, says Chef Hatchet. I had a feeling that Chef Hatchet was a soldier or sergeant for the Canadian Army, so I had to be respectful, I say, out loud. That's okay, says Chris. What? Whatever. Chris showed us our cabins, where we'll be staying for the next 8 weeks, as well as the ceremony site. That's the campsite for you, says Chris. It's really cool, man. God, man, he clearly loves Chris. Also, we have something to tell you both about Naruto's background. What? I say, all right, says Chris. In the cafeteria, Naruto took Chris and Chef into his mindscape and explained the full depth of his dark background to Chris and Chef and were crying. Hey, thanks for taking us on a tour. Now, let my adopted brother trauma dump, please. Don't get me wrong, it'd probably make good TV, but it's still, it's still kind of out of the blue. No, Naruto, that is really horrible, says Chris. That kind of stuff would give the hardest soldier nightmares for life. I'm sorry that happened to you, man, says Chef. It's all right, Chef, but thank you for your concern, says Naruto. Naruto is now my adopted little brother. He and I are very close to each other, I say. I can tell, says Chris. I'm glad you could. A boat horn is heard. Oh, the other campers are here, says Chris. I can't wait to meet them, says me. We go to the beach and we saw a boat come in and it had new players on it. Welcome to season 4 of Total Drama, folks. And we're back where season 1 took place. Camp Wawanaka. Sorry. Camp Wawanaka. Anyway, I'm Chris McLean, and we have another great series of epic challenges for all of you. The rules of the games are still the same, and things have totally changed around here in a totally deadly way. We have lots of life threatening challenges for everyone, and last one standing wins $1 million. Please welcome our campers. Meet Jasmine. Jasmine was an adventurous Australian girl. Crikey. Wow, this island sure is a beaut. Chris, it's such an honor to meet you, mate, says Jasmine, who's a girl. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. For all you know, I could have been talking about an Australian man. Boy, come on, let's not kid ourselves. You too, says Chris. Jasmine came to us. It's a pleasure to meet you, Jasmine, I say. JD Nutson and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Oh, wait, sorry. JD Nutson and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. I've heard so much about you both on your adventures, says Jasmine. We're very well known throughout much of the world, says Naruto. Are you from Australia? Asks JD. Geez, what gave it away? I sure am, says Jasmine. Oh, good God, I love Australia, mate. Welcome to Total Drama, I say in an Australian accent. It's like that thing that. Okay, this is a little niche. So I've watched. If anybody knows, Geno Samuel and uh, Chris Chan. I'm sure people know Chris Chan. But Geno Samuel has this long list of YouTube videos documenting like all of the things Chris has done. I think he hasn't done continuing it, with the recent stuff that's been happening. But anyways, I watched it twice over, and something I noticed is that whenever Chris like meets somebody of a certain ethnicity or goes to some kind of restaurant of that, like Indian. I have a particular memory of him hanging out with. Wait, no, those were okay. Now I'm getting into something completely different. Similar to Geno Samuel, there are these guys who made a documentary interacting with Chris, Gamer from Mars, and I believe they took Chris out to dinner to some Indian restaurant, and he did this thing which he does. Like I said, when he meets somebody with a certain ethnicity or goes to some ethnic area, where he speaks in a typical accent, like the type of thing. Yeah, he did an Apu accent, I recall, and it's just so tone deaf. Like, dude, maybe if you're friends with these guys, you can pull something like that off, but you don't just meet a guy and then start speaking in a stereotypical accent of their native language, where they're from. Goddamn, it's just not something you do. And I'm pretty sure that's something Chris did a fair few times. Definitely, though, I think the difference here is that JD is just saying stuff in an Australian accent, whereas Chris would probably take certain um, biases and stereotypes that he's gotten from shows and cartoons and applied them to how he speaks. He'd be like, "Oh, do you like shrimp on the barbie?" Meanwhile, JD, for now at least, JD is just talking in the accent. Okay, that was Ripper? Ripper, says Jasmine. I actually went to Australia and sorry, I meant before I start continuing again. Sorry if that was crazy and long and out of the blue. Just had to bring it up. Maybe it's something that just autistic people do. Not me. I'm very no. I actually went to Australia and saw lots of cool landscapes in Sydney. It's awesome. I say in a normal voice. It sure is, mate, says Jasmine. Here's Scott, says Chris. Just stay out of my way, says Scott. Sheesh, what's his problem, I ask. He sounds a lot like Sasuke was before we changed him, says Naruto. No kidding, I say. Mike, who is also man Manitoba Smith. What? Mike, who is also Manitoba Smith, Svetlana, Chester, and Vito. Oh, wait. is isn't this the guy who's got, like, split personality or something? It's such an honor to meet you, Crisp, says Mike, gasping and voice changes. Dag blast it, you whippersnapper, or oh yeah, 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 that's the old version. Dag nabbit, dag blast it, you whippersnappers are always like this. He gasps and voice changes. Uh, Italian accent? Oh lord. Put your hands up. He gasps and voice changes. Russian accent. Let's give them a I'm not great with Russian. Let's give them a challenge. He gasps and voice changes. Australian accent? G'day, Shaylas. He gasps and reverts back. Okay, guys, we have to stay in control. JD Nuts and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze? It's an awesome pleasure to meet you both, says Mike. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mike. You have multiple personality disorder? Disease, I mean. Oh, JD, you idiot. That implies it can be cured. Yeah, is there a vaccine for multiple personality disease? I'm cool. I'm cool. I've contracted it. I'm gonna, uh-oh. I'm gonna start talking in an Australian accent. I'll be like, "G'day, mate." Anyways, yes, I do, says Mike. I actually know someone that once had that, but we cured her. I say, why don't you cure him then? That's what I heard, man. It's gonna be awesome having you both here, says Mike. I can't wait, says Naruto. Here's Dawn, says Chris. Dawn walked up to us, and she was a pretty girl, and butterflies were fluttering around her. What's that? JD and Naruto here? I can see that JD Naruto is. I can see that. JD, Naruto, it's such a pleasure to meet you both, says Dawn, talking to a butterfly. Same here, Dawn, I say. Your auras tell me that you both have done so much good for both nature and the world, says Dawn. They'd be wrong. Interesting. You have aura sight too, I say. That's right, says Don. You would like my friend Vince. He has aura sight and crystal powers, I say. I'll have to meet him someday, says Don. He is great, Don, says Naruto. I'm sh- I'm sure, and I've never seen so many different colors before, says Don to Mike. He has multiple personality disease, and I think it's cool for him. It's not. From what little I remember about this season, the clips I've seen, I didn't actually watch it. It's like very inconvenient and uh not good. I personally wouldn't want it. Unless like I have cool personalities and we're basically just a bunch of friends. Anyways, I think it's cool for him, I say. That's interesting, says Don. Here's lightning, says Chris. A boy in a blue jersey came out of nowhere and landed on by us. Hello, everyone. Lightning is in the house, says Lightning. It's a pleasure to meet you, Lightning, I say. JD Nutson, I've heard so many big things about you. And Naruto, it's such a pleasure to meet you, says Lightning. It's mutual, says Naruto. I can tell you have a huge love for sports. I should introduce you to my friend Lin Lao Jr. She's a powerful sports master like you, I say. I'm honored that you know another sports star, JD. That's a weird thing to be honored by. Anyways, says Lightning. Thank you. What sport do you play, Lightning? I ask. All of them. I'm number one, dude, says Lightning. Go get 'em, dude. I say. Yeah, says Naruto. Amy and Sammy, says Chris. Two twin cheerleader girls came. My name is pronounced Sammy, says Sammy. Sammy was the nice twin, and I could tell that Amy is the evil twin. Yep. Okay. Sure. Stop complaining, Sammy, says Amy. Lola and Lana in teenage form, I say. Okay. JD Nutson and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. It's so nice to meet you, says Sammy. Same here, Sammy. Sammy, I say. Stop wasting my time, Sammy, says Amy. I take it you're Amy? I ask. Yeah, just don't get in my way, says Amy. She walked off. Wasn't it like subtle? Wasn't she more manipulative? Rather than, just walking around telling people to die, being obviously the evil twin, whatever. She walked off. Sheesh, what is her problem? asks Naruto. Amy has always been the superior twin next to me. I've always been second class, says Sammy. It's like an evil female Sasuke, says Naruto. Yeah. I can't believe it, bro, I say. That's horrible, Sammy. I think you have a great talent in everything like Amy does. She's just too blind to see it, says Mike. I agree. We'll all do our best to help you, I say. Thanks, guys, says Sammy. Here's Leonard. Leonard. Anyways, here's Leonard, says Chris. Leonard was a wizard kid. It's not an honored to meet you, Chris. I might cast a spell on you if I don't win, says Leonard. Okay, says Chris. JD Nutson and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze? God, I want this to be over. I've heard so many good things about your achievements, says Leonard. It's mutual. Are you wanting to become a magician? I ask. I am a magician. It's just that my spells haven't been working out at all, says Leonard. Hey, I'll help you when I can. Hey, I'll help you when I can, man, I say. Thank you, JD, says Leonard. Sugar, says Chris. Oh my lord. It's a real honor to be here, JD Nutson. You are awesome. It's a real honor to be here. JD Nutson, you are awesome, says Sugar in a southern accent. It's mutual. It's a pleasure to meet you, Sugar. Are you from the South in the U.S.? How'd you know? I ask. I sure am. I'm from Alabama, says Sugar. Awesome. Always a pleasure to see a fellow countrywoman. JD, you're not a countrywoman now, are you? Same here, darling, says Sugar. Ella, says Chris. A girl dressed in snow white princess gown landed onto the deck as birds were carrying her. Singing? Oh. Okay. We've just landed on the dock, and I bid you all adieu from the bottom of my heart. Normal. Oh, she sings that. I'm not singing that. It doesn't even rhyme. It's such an honor to meet you, Chris. JD Nutson and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. You are both princes that are perfect for anyone. I just hate you. I hate you. Everybody has to notice them and then say something super duper nice and flattering. Except the evil ones who just say, don't get in my way. I hate you. You know what I'm interested in, actually, though? How is it going to work? How is JD going to James Knutson, I mean, going to write these chapters, knowing he has to eventually knock out some of them. I'm sure he'll do like a multiple person tie with the people he really likes. But like, um, what was I going to say? Right, how is he going to deal with having to eliminate characters that he clearly doesn't want to? Is it possible that he can recognize that the presence of manipulative and bad characters is good for the interest of the story, or is he just going to get all of the bad and evil characters out, early, and then it'll be just super duper 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 boring, and I'm gonna hate my goddamn reading experience. Not that that was never going to happen. Anyways, I'm excited. I can't wait to see. It's a pleasure to meet you, Ella. You have a beautiful singing voice, not as good as mine. I say, thank you, says Ella. You would love our friend Lola Loud. She's a beauty pageant queen and a princess, says Naruto. I'm sure she would be an awesome friend, says Ella. Sean, says Chris. Sean was a paranoid kid. Was that a zombie? Asks Sean. There are no zombies here, man, I say. JD Nutson and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Can we just at least not say his full name? Just say Naruto, please. It's an awesome honor to meet you both, says Sean. Same here. Are you training for a zombie apocalypse? I ask. Yes, I am, says Sean. Me and my friends at the Loud House had the flu and it made them act like zombies. It was weird, I say. The zombie flu. That's unusual, says Sean. It was. It was the influenza virus, but that was making them act like zombies, I say. That is weird. Underlined. Is weird, says Sean. Yeah, it was. But everyone got better in a couple of days, says Naruto. That's a relief, says Sean. I'm gonna cough. I'm cool. Cameron, says Chris. A short boy came. It's a pleasure to meet you, Chris. JD Nutson, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. I've heard so many good things about you, says Cameron. It's mutual. Are you an invader like our friend Lisa? Inventor. I don't. Inventor, not invader. I ask. I invent lots of interesting things, and you know Lisa Loud? Asks Cameron. Yes, we do. She's one of our best friends, I say. That's awesome. We are both friends in the science world, and we have an awesome knack for science, says Cameron. I can believe it. Believe it, says Naruto. Here's Zoe, says Chris. Zoe was a sweet girl that had a flower in her hair. I'm kind of nervous about this. about all of this, says Zoe. It's okay, Zoe. This is new for all of us too, I say. JD Nutson and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, this is awesome. It's going to be so cool to work with you guys, says Zoe. I believe it. Believe it, says Naruto. And our final contestant, finally, Alan. It's so cool to see you, Chris, says Alan. Alan, is that you? I ask. JD? Hey, bud, says Alan. We both hug. Alan, it's so awesome to see you here on Total Drama. I, I say, I know. Who brought the tartar sauce? What's happening? I know. Who brought the tartar sauce? Asks Alan, imitating Ed. Huh? I don't know how Ed laughs. I assume from Ed, and Eddie. Eggs, 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 says Alan, imitating Ed. If only we had a sack of potatoes, says I say, imitating Ed. It's mine, Ed, says Alan. Bro, this is Alan Bushman. He's my best friend from Colorado, I say. This is the most, weirdly enough, this is the most normal dialogue I've seen so far. It's a pleasure to meet you, Alan, says Naruto. Same here, says Alan. We met when I started ninth grade. He's 1 year behind me, I say. Yep, says Alan. That's cool, says Naruto. Yeah, anyway, I'm here to win the $1 million for me and my family, says Alan. Yeah. And JD is here to win it for, his family. Not that they need it. I need it because my family is gonna starve if I don't get this $1 million. Hey, yeah, that's cool. My family needs like another yacht, so I'm hoping this will cover at least half of it. Okay, anyways. Me and my family, says Alan. Right on, dude, I say. Great reunion, guys. And finally, we have some members of Season 1's cast returning. Here's Gwen. Oh, Gwen. I love Gwen. Honestly, I didn't like Gwen that much. Sure, hot goth chick. Everyone loves it, but that was really it. That's where the appeal ended for me. Here's Gwen, says Chris. Gwen was a goth girl. You know how much I hate coming here, Chris? Chris. Why is she saying that? This is clearly something that she had to have done. It's not like it's not jury duty, Gwen. You don't have to come and do a goddamn game show. Whatever. She sees me and Naruto. JD Nutson and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. I've heard so many big things about you both, says Gwen. We get that a lot. I saw you on season 1 and congratulations on winning the 100K. Gwen didn't win the 100K on season 1. Or was it a different season where she won the 100K? Whatever, I say. Thanks, JD, says Gwen. Duncan, says Chris. A boy with a green mohawk arrived. Stuff it, Chris. JD Nutson and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Awesome! Exclaims Duncan. It's a pleasure to meet you, Duncan. Way to kick butt in season 2. Thanks, man. I feel very bad for Courtney, though. Maybe I should talk to her, says Duncan. I saw that on season 3. That was horrible. I say, yeah, but I'm hoping I can reconcile, whatever, with her, says Duncan. You can do it, man. And if that fails, there's plenty of other fish in the sea, says Naruto. That's true. Thank you, says Duncan. Courtney, says Chris. A girl in gray came. I have my lawyers ready for you, Chris, just in case. JD Nutson and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. This is so cool, says Courtney. It's a pleasure to meet you, Courtney. I'm so sorry that Duncan did what he did on season 3, but he wants to try and make it up to you somehow. I say, I appreciate you telling me this, JD, says Courtney. No problem, I say. Here's Heather, says Chris. Oh no, says everyone. Heather arrived as flames appeared in the background behind her. Chris, you know how much I hate this show, says Heather. Sure. So you're Heather. I've seen your dirty tricks, I say. Just do what I say and we'll have an understanding, says Heather. Sorry, but I don't take orders from you, I say. Me neither, says Naruto. Nobody was talking to you, Naruto. Shut up. You are so gonna regret it, says Heather. Do your worst, I say. Here's Izzy. Here's Izzy, says Chris. Swinging on a vine came Izzy. She was a girl of the wild. Hey guys, says Izzy. It's an awesome honor to meet you, Izzy. My friend Lana would love you, I say. It's such an honor to meet you, JD. I'm sure she would love me too. That's okay. says Izzy. Lana is a girl that loves all animals and she loves the wild, I say. She sounds awesome, says Izzy. She may be 6, but she is awesome, says Naruto. I can believe it, Naruto. Believe it. Here's Owen. Owen! Owen's the name, not who did I say? Kobe? Cody? I said Cody. No, Owen. Woohoo! It's so awesome to be back, guys. You see, he's got a nice attitude about things. A big guy came. Woohoo! It's so awesome to be back, guys, says Owen. Owen, how is it going, dude? I ask. JD Nutson and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze? Awesome! It's an honor to finally meet my pen pals? Pen pals? Both of them. Your pen pals? Whatever. Same here, dude, I say. It's awesome to meet you in person, man, says Naruto. Same here, Naruto, says Owen. Uh-oh. A lot of reunions are happening today, huh? Finally, here's Bridget. The surfer girl, right? Surfing on a wave was Bridget, a blonde surfer girl. Yes, it is the surfer girl. It's so cool to be back. JD Nutson and Naruto Uzumaki Kamikaze. Uzumaki Namikaze are here too. Awesome, says Bridget. It's a pleasure to meet you, Bridget. How are things with you and Jeff? Geoff. Jeff is an awesome and sweet guy. I want to win the million so we can start our family. I'm now engaged to him, says Bridget. She shows a diamond engagement ring live on television, so, if it was a secret, now it ain't. Congratulations, Bridget. Well, no, they're engaged. Wait, does engaged? Yeah, engaged means they've already gotten engaged. I'm an idiot. I was thinking fiance. You know. Awesome, says Naruto. Way to go, Bridget, says Gwen. Congrats, Bridge, says Owen. Thanks, guys, says Bridget. This is gonna be so awesome. I can't wait to have some fun, I say. Me, Naruto, Alan, Jasmine, Scott, Mike, Dawn, Lightning, Sean, Amy, and Sammy. I wanted to say Sammy. Leonard, Ella, Sugar, Cameron, Zoe, Gwen, Bridget, Owen, Heather, Duncan, Izzy, and Courtney stood ready. And we are going to start right now. It's time for our contestant, for our first challenge, something I call Obstacle Course of Mayhem. Evil, says Chris. We were placed onto our teams. Me, Alan, Naruto, Izzy, Dawn, Gwen, Mike, Zoe, Sammy, Ella, Bridget, Sean, Jasmine, and Courtney were called the Atomic Owls, and the rest were called the Nuclear Bears. Hold on. Wait. So it's me, Alan, Naruto. Dang it. Me, Alan, Naruto, Izzy, Dawn, Gwen, Mike, Zoe, Sammy, Ella, Bridget, Sean, Jasmine, and Courtney. 14 of you are on one team. And how many people are there? Me, Naruto, Alan. Why am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, good. For a minute, I was like, did he just put all the people he likes onto his team? It happens. It happens. Yeah, like in the Naruto chapters where during the Genin exams or some shit, where even though it's like usually a team of 3, they just let Naruto and JD and 10 other people onto one team. Anyways, Nuclear Bears. The Atomic Owl's logo was an owl with 3 eyes and 2 sets of wings, and the Nuclear Bears was a grizzly bear that had 6 arms and a mouth in its stomach. We later saw an intense obstacle course. It was totally over a mud field, as opposed to theoretically. It was totally like as opposed to partially, I guess. I guess that's I appreciate the clarification, I suppose. That had mutant beavers in it, had a bridge, a spinning log, bounce balloons, a what? Like those wipeout, big red wipeout balloon balls, I guess. A weaving course and more. We had to go through the course while carrying our team's mascots. I went first and I was against Scott. I got all this in the bag, says Scott. Your overconfidence will be your undoing, I say. We'll see, says Scott. Go, says Chris. We ran and got onto the bridge, and I pushed Scott over the side, and he fell face first into the mud, and the beavers chased after him. Naturally. Loser, I say. I go to Naruto at the spinning logs. Here, bro, I say. Thanks, JD. Does he have separation anxiety? What the says Naruto. Naruto takes the owl gently and he Oh, it's like a baton pass situation? The owl gently, and he ran across the logs, no problem. Here, Alan. Says, okay, so that's why he said here, bro. They're passing it between one another. Here, Alan, says Naruto. Thanks, Naruto, says Alan. Naruto gave the mutant owl to Alan, and Alan jumped across some tall rock spikes. He got to the other side and handed the mutant owl to Dawn. Thanks, Alan, says Dawn. You're welcome, Dawn, says Alan. Dawn swung on a rope and weaved around some giant baseball bat sculptures, and she landed in a baseball glove. The Atomic Owls win! Very awesome. Announces Chris. We all cheer, and the nuclear bears were disappointed and glaring at Scott, who clearly got pushed. I don't know what to tell you, man. Yeah, whatever. At the campfire ceremony, the nuclear bears were voting while we were watching. I wonder who's going to go out. Maybe it'll be Jasmine? Hold on, there's like 14 people on the team. 3 people did something. It went JD, then Naruto, then Alan, and then Dawn, and that was it. That's 4 out of what were the other 10 people doing? Whatever. Chris told them that whoever gets the toxic marshmallow is loserdom. Of loserdom is the one that can never come back. Everyone but Scott got a marshmallow, and Scott got the radioactive marshmallow, and it burned him bad. Of course it did. Because, he's already getting kicked out. But hey, it also hurts him because fucking screw him, I guess. Scott, it's time to go, says Chris. This can't be happening, says Scott. It is, loser, I say. Oh my god. JD, you're not supposed to be here, says Amy. What? What? But it says you were watching. So you're just not supposed to be watching? Whatever. JD, you're not supposed to be here, says Amy. I know, I just like to watch. Besides, I knocked him into the mud and we won. I'm just enjoying his pain. Schadenfreude. Funny, says Chris. What? I'm just enjoying his pain. Schadenfreude, I say. Yeah, because he's our hero. Funny, says Chris. But you're not gonna take them out if you're by boat, are you? I ask. Of course not. Because JD's so smart and he knows everything before it needs to be said because JD's so smart. And I love JD. Thank you, JD. Thank you. No, I've got something even better, says Chris. Chris showed us a big catapult. Behold the patent pending catapult of losers, or as I call it, the hurl of shame, says Chris. Cool, I say. JD, since you knocked Scott out, you get to do the honors, says Chris. With pleasure, Chris, I say. Scott got into the catapult and he was enraged. You haven't heard the last of me, JD. I will have my revenge, says Scott. Go blow it out your nose, butt face, I say. Very cool. I pull a lever and Scott was hurled a long distance. Whistles. Oh, yeah, I can do that. That's a long distance. I hope his lungs can be used as pillows. That's a really weird thing to say and a little bit morbid, but whatever. Well done, JD, says Chris. Oh, ha 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 ha. Well done, JD, says Chris. Thanks, Chris, says I. See you next challenge, man, says Chris. You know how disheartening this must be to the other contestants, seeing Chris being all buddy buddy with JD. Then again, I think I recall Chris liking uh uh I don't know what season it was, but he just at one point he had like a favorite contestant, and he was very clearly sad to see him go. Uh oh. And it was I'm gonna go. I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm not. I'm not cool. I'm not. it's it's bad. It's really bad. And it kind of feels like tickly and tingly on my throat. I'll be cool. Okay. 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 I don't have anything to drink. Where was I? Right. Yeah, talking about Chris and that one favorite contestant he had, but he still, knocked him out all the same. He was sad, sure, but he still handed him the marshmallow. It may have been the guy with the pretty face who never says anything. Okay, I'm good now. I'm good. I'm cool. See you next challenge, man, says Chris. Will do, I say. At our cabin, I had my laptop computer out and called Lincoln. I didn't know you could bring that, but whatever. Lincoln answered. Hey, JD, says Lincoln. Hey, Lincoln, did you guys see us on TV? I ask. We sure did, and you all were awesome, says Lincoln. Okay, well, that's not true. Unless it's a live action uh, show, not a live action. Well, kind of live action, whatever. Unless it's they're like recording it as it's happening, because in the animated show of Total Drama, it's very clearly supposed to be mimicking real life challenges. Like what is it, Survivor? But that stuff doesn't come out the day it happened. It doesn't. It's not being filmed to a live. Yeah, live. Yeah, live. I I'm having a stroke. Yeah, live is the correct word. It's not being filmed live. People aren't watching it as it happens. It goes through a lot of editing. Survivor does anyways, and they clearly mimicked that in the show. So yeah, no, I don't think unless they've got super fast editors, I don't think that Lincoln would have seen your performance yet. But whatever. All the little cuts, the zoom ins. They edit in the confessionals. Those are a pretty big part of it. Whatever. We sure did. And you all were awesome, exclaims Lincoln. Thanks, buddy. Oh, guys, I want you all to meet someone. This is my best friend, Alan Bushman. We went to school together over in Colorado, I say. Hello, says Alan. It's a pleasure to meet you, Alan, says Lincoln. Same here. I've heard all kinds of awesome things about you, says Alan. Well, it's all mutual, says Lincoln. Yeah, hey guys, come here and meet my friend, I say. Everyone gathered and they saw Lincoln. So you, Lincoln, loud. It's a pleasure. I'm Courtney, says Courtney. It's a pleasure, says Lincoln. Everyone introduced themselves. Oh, really? We're not going to go over every single character introducing themselves? That's a shame. It's a pleasure to meet you all, says Lincoln. I've heard a lot of good things about you and your sisters, Lincoln, says Sammy. I know. I saw your sister on TV. She's like an evil female version of Sasuke, says Lincoln. Who is Sasuke? Asks Sammy. He's my best friend, and he's a ninja. He has a very dark past, and he used to have this bad Avenger complex in him until we changed him, says Naruto. Oh, I've seen him before, and he was awesome, says Jasmine. Oh, I've seen him before, and he was awesome, says Jasmine. Yeah, Amy is like a much more evil Sasuke, female style, says Lincoln. That's a good way to put it, Lincoln, says Sammy. Congratulations on winning the first challenge, guy, says Lincoln. Thanks, buddy. We have a long road ahead of us, and it's going to be tough, so I say. Good luck, guys. I hope you win, JD, says Lincoln. I plan on moving the whole team. I plan on having the whole team win. Oh, here we go. I found a loophole that if the whole team wins without losing a single contestant, that team wins automatically. That's not really a loophole, is it? It's more of like just something that'll happen. A loophole is like an oversight. Because that doesn't make any sense, you know? What kind of oversight is there in that? That's clearly intentional or just plain idiotic. Whatever. Automatically. That's a good strategy, says Lincoln. So who gets the $1,000,000? All of you? Is it split? No way you all get $1,000,000 each. Whatever. It is. I hope we all win, says Bridget. Me too. Well, see you, buddy. We got to get some shut eye, I say. Well, okay, we'll be rooting for you all. Bye, says Lincoln. Bye, Lincoln, I say. The call clicks off and we all hit the hay. Continues in part 2. I can't wait. Version 38. Week 2. Me, Naruto, Alan, and team were all at the mass hall at the mess hall table having breakfast. Courtney was having a delicious eggs Benedict, and me, Naruto, and Alan were having French toast and waffles. Everyone else but the atomic owls were having bad gruel. I, what, what kind of fucking favoritism is that? Whatever. Suddenly, the PA system came on. Attention campers! Meet out by the docks for today's challenge. You're gonna love it, says Chris. We go to the docks and Chris was waiting for us. Now, today's challenge is something I like to call Face Your Worst Enemy. Oh, here we go, says Chris. Bring it on, Chris, I say. I had a feeling you would like this one, JD. JD's so cool. The rules are simple. I call your name and you step into the ring. I spin this wheel and and whatever it lands on, that will be your opponent. You win against your opponent, your team gets a point. That's not really clever. And it's not your worst enemy, it's your random enemy. This is gonna be cool, says Naruto. Are you allowed to use superpowers? Because I'm afraid to say Naruto and JD kind of have a bit of a, you know, advantage. Oh well. This is gonna be cool, says Naruto. I know. JD, you go first, says Chris. I go into the ring, and Chris spun the wheel, and it landed on a dark blue silhouette of none other than. Here's your opponent from. Here's your opponent from season one's original cast. Is Eva, says Chris. Oh no, says all. Wait, no, there's no colon, so it's just all. Oh no, whatever that's supposed to mean. Eva came out into the arena, and raging flames roared in the background behind her. So I'm back now. So I am back, and now I can get my revenge on JD. So you're Eva. So you're my opponent. I say, yeah, I am. You got a problem with that, loser? Asks Eva. Yeah, I got a problem with that. You're gonna pay for wanting to hurt Bridget. Yeah, totally. Eva's kind of forgettable. It's weird that he has such a grudge against her. I didn't even know she was in season one. I thought she was in a different season. Oh well. Yeah, I got a problem with hurt Bridget. I say, you're protecting little Miss Backstabbing Traitor, huh? Well, I'm going to kill you myself, says Eva. Not if I kill you first. You ugly sociopathic piece of dirt, I say. Everyone gasped. What did you just call me? Asks Eva. You heard me. Is your brain so tiny that you don't even have. Oops, you don't even know anything and need a brain transplant? Really? Simply name calling is whatever. But when you try and say something clever and insulting, it's like this. It's gotta be good, otherwise you look so unthreatening and so stupid. You heard me, or is your brain so tiny that you don't even know anything and need a brain transplant? Shut up, man. I say, you are so dead, says Eva. I've heard better comebacks from a turkey sandwich. Well, she could probably say the same to you. Normally, I'm not supposed to hit girls, but in this case, I'll make an exception. Yeah, she's ugly, so she deserves it. I say. I dashed and punched her in the face, and she went out of the ring. She was knocked out. That was a waste, I say. JD wins a point, says Chris. An Atomic Owl logo gets a 1 on the scoreboard. Next up, Gwen versus Heather. What? 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 Am I. What? So, like, did they bring in Eva just so that JD could beat on her? And because like when Eva came up, I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. It can be any character from any season, maybe. But now we've just gone straight back to um, you know, people in this season currently with Gwen and Heather, whatever. I've been wanting some payback, says Gwen. Go for her. Go get her, Gwen, says Naruto. Gwen and Heather were in the ring. Well, well, Gwen. How have you been? Asks Heather. I've been wanting to pound your face in since season 2 and 3, says Gwen. Then come and try it, says Heather. Gwen dashed and punched Heather in the nose and kicked her in the mouth and knocked out a tooth from her. Knocked out a tooth from her. Heather screamed, "My tooth! You will pay for this," says Heather. Gwen kicked her in the stomach and punched her in the face and kicked her in the back, and Heather was knocked down. "I'm so tired." "You've been asking for this for a long time," says Gwen. "Gwen wins," says Chris. "We all cheer. We cheered. Next is Sammy," says Chris. "It's Sammy," says Naruto. Sammy got up onto the arena, and Chris spun the wheel, and it landed on what looked like a man on all fours. Okay, so it can be anyone. I guess he just wanted Gwen to fight Heather. "Ooh, you're not gonna like this one, guys. It's our old friend Freak Ezekiel," says Chris. Out of the arena came Ezekiel from seasons 1 and 3, and he was completely feral. "That's Ezekiel," I exclaim. Okay. Oh man, and he's completely feral," says Naruto. "No kidding. I saw what happened to him on Total Drama World Tour, and he was considered the worst contestant ever." I'm cool. "No kidding, Bud." Who calls their friend Bud? Whatever. "He was considered a chauvinistic narcissist, and he makes all boys everywhere look bad, I say." "So do you." "I agree," says Gwen. "Me too," says Courtney. "So you're Ezekiel. Let's play," says Sammy. He lunged at her, and she dropped and flung him over the island with her legs. The whole island? "Whoa," I say. "Sammy wins," says Chris. We cheer wildly. "Sammy is still a weak and pathetic girl," says Amy. "I hate this. I hate how this is written. I hate James. I hate this fucking. Let's keep reading." "Shut up, Amy," I say. "The Atomic Owls win," says Chris. "We won the challenge." So was this first of three? Okay. At the campfire ceremony, everyone but Heather got marshmallows. That's not exactly fair. Heather was the only person that got into that ring and lost that could have been voted for. That's so fucking unfair. Are you kidding me? That's such bullshit. And sure, what do I expect? But it's. Whatever. Heather gets the toxic marshmallow of loserdom, says Chris. Chris gave her the radioactive marshmallow and her hair fell out. That's a little weird, disturbing even. "Ah, my hair!" screams Heather. God, we're only halfway done. "I cannot believe this. Cheated out of $1 million again. I hate this show." Doesn't Heather win in like one of the later seasons? I'm not sure. "Go blow it out your nose, Heather." No, wait. Out of $1 million again. I hate this show, says Heather. "Go blow it out your nose, Heather," I say. Reusing the same thing I said to that other guy whose name I've already forgotten. Oops. You all will be hearing from my lawyers," says Heather. I blow a raspberry at her, like, because I'm fucking 2 years old, and she got in the catapult and was hurled away. "So long, loser," I say. "What a pathetic loser," says Naruto. This is like revenge porn, and it's making me super unhappy. "What a pathetic loser," says Naruto. "You said it, bro. I think her parents would be a lot better off without her. She's a total sociopath." I say. "Yeah," says Alan. We go back to our cabin, and I mark on the wall with an X. I mark on the wall with a X stamp on Heather's face. 2 down, 9 to go. Wait, so there was 11 people on the bear team, but 14 people on yours? That's not fair. Whatever. 2 down, 9 to go, I say. "Yeah, good riddance to that snake. To that snake, Heather. She really gave all us girls everywhere a bad name," says Jasmine in an Australian accent. "You said it, Jasmine," I say. I pull my laptop out and call Lincoln. What? Oops. "Hey, JD," says Lincoln. "We're going to spend as much time talking to Lincoln as we did on the challenge, aren't we?" "Hey, Lincoln, victory number 2 for the Atomic Owls," I say. "We saw and we're very glad that Heather is out. She gave girls everywhere a bad name." Why do you, like, he got, that's another thing that really icks me. He repeats things. Multiple characters say word for word, verbatim, what another character says about somebody, and it's so annoying to me for some reason. Like, Christ, can you at least think of something unique? Even if it's something dumb, like, oh yeah, Heather was more beast than girl. It's not clever. It's not even funny. It's insulting, which is mostly what it's supposed to be. And at the very least, it's unique. Well, unique compared to just straight up repeating what somebody else has said. Whatever. I shouldn't yell too loud. Jasmine said the exact same thing. Exactly the same thing, I say. Yeah. Also, great job socking it to Eva. That girl has a lot of anger problems, says Lincoln. No kidding. She was on season 1, and if she doesn't get her temper with a U under control, she could become a menace to society here in Canada. I say. I believe it. Believe it. Eva says, "Why is Lainey here?" Eva seems to be suffering from borderline personality disease. I don't think she is. I think she's just got, you know, anger issues, anger management. It's a personality disorder in where any little thing will make you mad with explosive rage. That's called anger management issues, not borderline personality disease. Whatever. I can believe it, Laney. Believe it, I say. Eva called me a backstabbing traitor and she was going to kill me in season 1, says Bridget. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I heard that she was voted off a second time, says Courtney. It sounds like Eva has caused a lot of problems for all you guys, says Laney. You don't know the half of it. She was a major problem to all of us, says Gwen. Dude, how? I barely remember her. From what I saw, Heather stole her MP3 player and made Eva go on a rampage in camp, says Lincoln. What? Says everyone but me and Naruto. Heather did all that? Asks Gwen. Shouldn't you know? Wouldn't they have watched the season they were on? I am. If I ever participate in like a reality TV show, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna see how I did. See if people like me. Maybe I was painted in a good light, and everybody loves me, and I get to become a YouTuber the easy way. Anyways, what was I? She did all that. Yeah, we watched Total Drama here in the U.S., and we all saw Heather do all sorts of evil things to all of you. She tricked Lindsay and Beth, and even sabotaged Gwen and Lashana's victories. Says Lincoln. Looks like I was right about the sociopath part. She's definitely competitive. I say, she is pure evil, says Sammy. Well, that is bad. Hold on. Hold on. I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool. Okay. I think I'll be fine. That is bad, but something tells me that. Oh God, I've lost my accent. Something tells me that we have not seen the last of Heather the Evil, says Jasmine. Good nickname for her, Jasmine, I say. Thank you, mate, says Jasmine. Oopsies. Oopsie daisies. Heather also seems to be suffering from narcissistic and antisocial personality disorders. She only cares about no one other than herself and is constantly wanting to be the absolute center of attention, says Laney. That could very well be the case, Laney, I say. How do you know so much about psychology, Laney, asks Courtney. I want to be a forensic and criminal psychologist when I grow up, and it's a really cool job, says Laney. That is so awesome, says Gwen. I have a feeling that you can do it, Laney, says Bridget. Thanks, Bridget, says Laney. I can't wait to see what you guys do in Challenge 3, says Lincoln. I have a feeling it's going to be a good one. We got to hit the hay. See you next week, guys. I say, see you guys. We're rooting for you, says Lincoln. Thanks, buddy. Bye. I say the call clicks off and we hit the hay. Continues in chapter 3. Okay, cool. Well, that's that. Um, yeah, we're done. I feel like this one was a good 30 to 45 minutes longer than it needed to be because I kept going on tangents. But oh well. See you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.